Now, a lot of people think that, you know what, oh, if I just find something to do that will help to save the community or help the community, that's going to be great. But now, for example, if you take a newspaper, right, you can use a newspaper for a lot of things. What do? You use it to clean something, you use it to wrap something. When you are feeling extremely hot, you use it to blow air towards yourself. You use a newspaper for a variety of purposes. Apart from reading the news, exactly. But the primary purpose of a newspaper is to convey the news to you, right? Same way, every one of us have a primary purpose that we are designed to do, and only when we do that, we actually live out to the full potential that you and I are called to do. And that's how we will actually be better, we will be having satisfaction in of life. And that's why I strive to tell people, don't just try to, when you say using it for purpose, it's like saying, I'm just using it for cleaning something and not reading the news. It's like that. That's what many people are doing with their life. And that's why they feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. Look at somebody else. They're so talented. Look at me. I'm just a nobody. No, you're not a nobody. It's just that you're in the wrong place. So that's the reason. You're in the process. And that's why I tell people, you need to find the purpose of your life. Now, for example, this awesome book, right? If I went and sold it in a fish market, I'm sure no one is going to buy a book in the fish market, right? But at the same time, if I keep it in a bookstall, it makes sense because people love reading books. So if you feel like you're not valued, it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's like you're trying to sell yourself in the wrong market. So maybe if you're gifted in singing, don't go to a TEDx competition. You're going to think like, oh, I'm the fool in the place. So go to a place that you're gifted, go to what you are called to do, and then we can talk about different aspects in which you can actually find your purpose in life. So
it's a light bulb kind of a moment.
yes, it's like a light bulb kind of a moment. So now when you talk about finding your purpose, like you said, there are different ways in which you can find your purpose. And one of the key things in doing that is, now for example, now I'm holding this microphone and you saw like, oh, I'm good in holding my microphone. But as a kid, this was my microphone. So what I did was I just made a name shift microphone, and I used to go around practicing, how to speak. I used to set up a place in my living room where I would just, open all the showcases at a certain angle. So I can see myself on the television screen. I can see myself in all these different angles. I look like I'm preaching in a big conference or something like that. So that's how I did when I was a kid. And today that's exactly what I'm doing, my purpose. So one of the things people think is, oh, that's just a childhood craze. You're just weird about this. This is nothing great. But that would actually align you to what you are actually called to do. So now don't think that that's just a childhood craze. Now, I love this cartoon Scooby-Doo. Anybody here know Scooby-Doo, the cartoon? Yes, of course, right? Yeah? So that's Scooby-Doo. Everybody loves Scooby-Doo. So I don't know if you know this, but I actually got records for my Scooby-Doo collection. I even set a world record a few months back, like head to toe of only Scooby-Doo. And I used Scooby-Doo as one of my tools to motivate people, encourage people. So Scooby-Doo is something people say, oh, you're too, I'm not too old, but you're too old for Scooby-Doo. But, something that people think is crazy actually drives me to a sense of purpose. And in a unique way, I'm able to reach people, tell people, motivate people, help people. So that's how I always tell people, look at what you used to do when you're young. Look at something that you did when nobody put a gun on your head to tell you this is what you got to do. No one told me write stories. But I started writing, my spellings were bad, my storylines were horrible, illustrations were unbearable to look at. But that's how I kept working on it and ended up writing my bestseller books today. So you never know what you did when you're young. We're actually shedding light to what you're actually born to do. So never neglect that, never forsake that, and keep going after your passion, your purpose, and keep channelizing them, and then you will eventually step into. There's so much more I can talk about it, but you can read my book and you will find them.